We are floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingman Show, where we're floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingman Show. My name is Commander Drew Brown. My wingman, my friend, my main man, the guy who watches my six, is Dr. Paul Thompson. What's up today, Brother Paul?
Hello, Commander Drew. It's good to see you. You're looking very chipper today. I guess you like the beach a lot. I see a beach scene. Looks like you're flying over Brooklyn or something.
I am over Brooklyn. That's Brighton Beach. That's where my grandparents lived. And that's where I went to high school, Abraham Lincoln in Brighton Beach and Coney Island. So there you got my A6 over Brighton Beach and Coney Island. How about that?
Yeah, I'm sure that excited everybody when you flew over.
Woo!
It-
Sand was blowing. All right. How about the quote of the day? Every morning, the rising sun invites and inspires us to begin again. And that's by Dabashis Merida. Every morning, the rising sun invites and inspires us to begin again. Dr. Paul, every day is a new day. Every day you wake up, something new can happen, and it's a new beginning. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree totally. Every day you wake up is a blessing. It really is, particularly as you get older, because that everybody doesn't wake up. I'm finding more and more. But yeah, I feel that way too. And it's important to get some sun on your face in the morning if you can. Get
That's
some
right.
sun on.
That's right. You got to get that vitamin D, like your mom and my mom said, recharge those batteries.
You do. You really do.
Well, you know, the name of our show today is Top Gun meets Top Cat, the Blue Angels lawsuit. Dr. Paul, if I told you that a Seattle woman took the Navy Blue Angels to federal court for state sanctioned acoustic torture of her cat, she actually said it was a subtlety of a military occupation. She's suing the Blue Angels because these super bad F-18 Super Hornets are too loud and it's disturbing her cat. Is this a total abuse of the court system or what?
I think it might be because she charged them. I read about it too. Charged them with state sanctioned acoustic torture, which I've never heard before. But her cat was named it's past tense now. Cat was named Layla, like the uh
Like,
this
yeah, Eric
Eric
Clapton.
Clapton song. Cat Layla. And Layla was an Asian cat, had heart problems, and had some treatment at the veterinary clinic, but really had an operation. She was recovering, and I guess they were doing a practice or a show, and she basically said that contributed to Layla's death. She was suffering with acoustic torture as jets flew over, as they do once a year. I think this is the first time the Blue Angels have ever been sued.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. Dr. Paul, what kind of business is this? This is a demonstration team that actually shows our country how super bad we are as far as air superiority. And she couldn't put her cat in a quieter room?
Well, I don't know if she could. I mean, we both have or have had animals, and our animals were very sensitive to noise, especially our dog. But yeah, and he was kind of tortured because I guess the hearing is so sensitive. So any thunderstorms, you just freaked them out. But I think,
Yeah, but you remember all the dogs I had, Dr. Paul?
yeah,
Well, a couple of them really got freaked out over thunderstorms, and they would be so close to me, they would almost, be on top of me, but they
yes,
they feared that loud noise, and, you know, when, they have fireworks, and sometimes around here when guns get shot off, you know, these hunters, yeah, the dogs are scared of that, so I imagine the cat was scared of these F-18 Hornets, but I
oh yeah.
don't believe we should sue them, do you?
I don't think so because I think in the suit there she's suing I think the commanding officer, maybe the commanding officer at the time, and the public affairs officer and a couple of others. And she said there are two they're too thin-skinned. I think what the problem was that she was commenting on their Instagram page,
That's right.
and they blocked her from the Instagram page. So she's really kind of suing for First Amendment freedom of speech rights.
That's correct. They did stop her on their Instagram account, and she's suing for First Amendment rights, which she might win because I don't know why they would stop her from doing that. That probably made it a lot worse, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah.
All right, let's do some good news here, Dr. Paul. You know, there's a terrible thing called date rape. Well, somebody has, the Koreans actually invented a temporary tattoo that can instantly test drinks by changing its color. It detects unwanted drugs and it prevents date rape. You know, that date rape drug, GHB and Rufinol, which they call roofies, that's what a lot of people go into bars and they drop a roofie in somebody's drink and then they paralyze them. It's horrible. But how about this temporary tattoo? All you have to do is touch it with a little bit of the liquid, and it'll change colors if it has a roofie in it.
Now, how does that work? It must be a tattoo is like on your finger or something. Where do you?
It's on your arm. It's just a nice little temporary tattoo,
Okay.
and I bet you a lot of women will start using these when they go to nightclubs.
Well, it's you said, well, maybe more than that because I know two people who had their drinks spiked.
What?
They were men.
No way!
Yes, yes way. Yes way.
I didn't know.
They got robbed. I mean, they got robbed of a lot. So yeah, that's everybody can use that.
So you're telling me these guys were so handsome that girls were trying to drug them to take them home?
I guess so, but they took him to the hotel room and then took their belongings. But they woke
Oh,
up with all their body parts.
oh,
Yeah,
oh, they got robbed. Wow.
yeah.
Well, I never understood famous people. And, there was a very famous person who was arrested and put in jail for putting roofies in women's drinks, especially famous and rich people. They don't need to do that. I wonder what's with that. Is there something like sexual about that?
Maybe
But
maybe
having somebody paralyzed?
I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a power trip, control or something. I don't know.
Maybe it is. All right, how about this? You and I are commercial jet pilots. We're Navy jet pilots. Well, what if I told you that the first commercial jet made its test flight on July 27th, 1949, and it was the British de Havilland Comet. That's the name of the jet. It made its maiden test flight in England. The jet engine would ultimately revolutionize the airline industry. Well, this is pretty cool here, Paul. Listen to this. The Wright brothers, they flew that Kitty Hawk in North Carolina in 1903. Well, this guy, Jeffrey de Havilland, successfully designed and piloted his first plane in 1910. 7 years after the very first flight, he piloted his first plane and designed it. Then he went on to work for the English aircraft manufacturers and he started his own company in 1920. That's amazing. 17 years after the first flight, the Kitty Hawk, he actually started an airline company. Is that not amazing?
Yeah, it is because with the Wright brothers were what bicycle repair people, and I think to have one, he designed buses. He's but somewhat similar. Yeah, he did really really well. He designed his own company. I remember the airplane. I remember seeing it. It had four engines, and there were two on each side of the wings, but they were in the wing roots. They're right in the wings itself. Which the problem with that was it led to fatigue cracks, which was not good, and caused a number of fatal crashes. I think they flew in first in like in '52, flew for 2 or 3 years, had some improved versions, but uh, Boeing and Douglas aircraft kind of look at the design and improve things. The first jets actually flew in Germany during World War II.
Oh, those were military jets, right?
Yeah, the military jets, the Me 262. It was a military jet, and actually, I think the three of them they were shot down by the Tuskegee Airmen, maybe more. Three on one
Wow.
three on one mission. I know. and a few more. So that was the early jet age. But yeah, turbojet engines, turbofan engines. Turbofan engines, what you see now in commercial airplane. Turbojets, where all the thrust goes right through the core of the engine. Turbofan, some goes through the core, some goes around, and that makes it quieter and more fuel efficient.
Yeah, now these German jets, we flew ACM, which is combat maneuvering. These jets had to be faster than the prop planes these Tuskegee Airmen had. But, at a slower speed, you can turn tighter, actually.
Right.
And I bet you that's what happened. I bet you they didn't even know how to control their jets that good. And they didn't make tight turns. And that's why the Tuskegee Airmen could probably get behind them and blow them out of the sky.
You're probably right. And the P-51, I've seen them kind of fly in the show. They can move really quickly. They're faster than you think. They're not just regular prop planes. When they got them full open, they can move like about the speed of an A4. I've seen them over Kingsville one time doing a demonstration on a Sunday when no one was flying. I didn't know they went that fast.
Wow. Some good news there, though. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube, for listening to us on Apple Podcasts, for watching our shorts on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Thank you, all of you, so much for your support, your letters, and your nice reviews. We really enjoy that. And if you look behind us, we got some super bad jets behind us today. Dr. Paul has the Blue Angel. He loves them Blue Angels. He has the Blue Angels. I believe that's an F-18 Hornet. And myself, I have an AI generated A6 Intruder flying over Coney Island and Brighton Beach. And that's where I went to high school. My grandparents grew up there or lived there. And that's where I used to spend my weekends and my high school years. So I put an A6 over Brighton Beach. What do you think about that?
The only thing would be better is if you could have a picture of yourself eating a hot dog, Coney Island hot dog, while you're flying over. Gotta have a hot dog. Gotta have a hot dog.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but I used to hate my mother saying this. But every time we went to Nathan's for a hot dog, she said, back when I was a little girl, I paid 5 cents for a hot dog. 5 cents for a hot dog. And I was like, Mom, it's not that anymore. You're not back there anymore. And I swear I grew up to do the same thing. I used to spend 25 cents for a slice of Coke. I mean, a slice of pizza and a Coke when I was in Brighton Beach and go to the pizza shop. So I did the same thing. But Nathan's hot dogs, the best. The
Well, same here. I mean, one time 25 cents could fill your stomach up.
Oh yeah, no
Which,
doubt. How about buying candy for 10 cents? All those penny candies you could have, 5 for a penny.
yes, yeah, yeah. Oh, you have $1. That's 100 penny candies. That's more than you could eat. It's more than you'd want to eat, even if you didn't care about your teeth and you know.
I know.
Crazy.
And everybody out there, we have a newsletter, and that newsletter is on wingmanshow.com. That's Wingman Show, WINGMEN show.com. And you can write us and ask us a question on our frequent flow line. But our newsletter this week is Sued for Nothing: How to Fight a Frivolous Lawsuit. And that's what our top story was about, somebody suing the Blue Angels for making too much noise. So our newsletter is really right up that alley. Sued for Nothing: How to Fight a Frivolous Lawsuit. Definitely read that newsletter. It is very good. All right, everybody. On the Wingman Show, we have that frequent flow line, and we have our new wingman, Ace. Ace is our Chat GPT guy, and I'm going to talk to Ace today and ask him some questions about our frequent flow line. Good morning, Ace. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm excited for the Wingman Show today. How about you?
I am really excited. Let me read this letter to you and get your take on it. The letter says, Dear Wingman, I'm a 62-year-old retired Air Force tech sergeant, and I just wanted to say thank you. Truly, I tune in every week because you brothers bring something rare to the mic: realness. It does my heart good to see two strong, educated black men, aviators no less, speaking truth with humor, heart, and humility. So here's my question. What's the hard truth you've had to accept about people? Keep flying high, fellas. The skies are a little clearer because you're in them. God bless you both and this mission you're on. Respectfully, a fellow wingman. Okay, Ace, what do you say about that?
Oh, I love it. That's such a heartfelt and genuine letter. It really captures the spirit of what you and Paul are doing. I think it's going to make both of you smile. And that question is a really good one. It's going to lead to some great conversation.
Okay, so why don't you tell me, Ace, what's the hard truth you've had to accept about people?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Well, I'd say one hard truth I've had to accept is that not everyone is ready to change or see things from a different perspective.
That's that's great. No, that's great. And my answer, to be honest with you, is about people. I am not surprised anymore what people are capable of doing. I mean, people have just surprised me my whole life. I thought people are one way and they act another. So the big one I have is I'm not surprised. Now tell me about you, Dr. Paul. What surprises you about people? What do you have to accept?
I guess one thing I that surprises me is maybe the level of how some things have changed, but I find that in the modern world that we live in right now, it seems though most people have lost their ability to really listen. They tend to talk at the same time and talk at each other, not with each other. And they're talking at the same time and nobody is listening. They're just yelling and screaming and no one even understands. And what's really happening is that people stop communicating in many cases. They're so busy getting their point out with great thrust, they're not considering the other person, they're not considering the world around them, and they really need to, I think, slow down and just think like people used to do a little bit better years ago, not that long ago, maybe before computers, and let the look at things from the other person's side if you can, for just for a second, even if you don't like it, for a second, consider it, plus, minus, just a comparison. But people don't want to compare, and they don't want to compare now. They just want to put stuff out and get angry and walk away. What is the response? Everybody's getting their shots in.
That's a great answer, Dr. Paul. And you know what that brings us to? A Wingman PSA. From the 11 facts in life, under fact number 9, recognize and overcome your weaknesses. Recognize and overcome your weaknesses. Dr. Paul, we know best what we're weak at. We know what we're not good at. So if you perform continuous self examination, you can find out what those weaknesses are. My weakness as a basketball player was my left hand. But
Mhm.
the problem is, I recognized it, but I never tried to overcome it because I just wanted to play good. So I played more with my right hand. But I think that's a great, great fact. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Everybody was right in. They were great on the right side, not so great on the left. I think people are they're better these days in some ways. They're more balanced. I guess coaches require it. You can really see that mostly in women's basketball more so because they can't just power their way through things. Guys will tend to do that, you know. So you kind of ignore that weakness by trying to overcompensate on your strength, but you never really get better. So yeah, you spend some time on the stuff that you need to work on and work on it. You may get good at it. You might even get better.
Very good, Dr. Paul. Well, that brings us to the gouge. And what is the gouge? In the Navy, the gouge was shit you need to know, but sometimes nobody told you. Well, we have the gouge and we have Ace of Chat GPT to help us out with this gouge. I am going to ask Ace a question here for some gouge. Hey, Ace, how you doing? We're back with you with the gouge part of the show. All right, well, answer this. This rarely trained muscle is recognized worldwide as a marker of human health, and it can really test if you're going to live to 100, and that's your grip strength. Can you tell me something about the grip strength and what we should do to make it better or how important it is there, Ace?
Oh, grip strength is definitely a big deal. It's often seen as a good indicator of overall health and longevity. To improve it, you can do exercises like squeezing a stress ball, using hand grippers, or even just carrying groceries. It's all about keeping those muscles active and strong.
Great. Now, one more question. Does it really predict how long you'll live?
Well, it's not a crystal ball, but there's definitely correlation. Studies show that better grip strength is often linked to better overall health and can be a good indicator of longevity. But of course, it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Thank you so much, Ace. You're such a great wingman to have. Now I'm going to ask Dr. Paul to talk to you a little bit. Doc, you got some questions for Ace?
Hey, Ace, got a question for you. It's a two-part question. Tell me the five top beaches in the world and then the five top beaches in the USA.
Let's do it. So, for the top five beaches in the world, we've got Grace Bay in Turks and Caicos, Whitehaven Beach in Australia, Anse Source d'Argent in the Seychelles, Pink Sands Beach in the Bahamas, and Navajo Beach in Greece, also known as Shipwreck Beach. And then, if we narrow it down to the US, we've got Waikiki Beach in Hawaii, Clearwater Beach in Florida, Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, Malibu Beach in California, and South Beach in Miami. So there you go, little beachy inspiration.
Okay, thank you very much, Ace. Talk to you later.
You're very welcome. Talk to you later and have a great day.
All right, Paul. Any of those beaches you've been to? Because I'm
Yeah,
about to go to the
two of them.
Seychelles for my 25th anniversary.
That's the place I want to go to Seychelles. I've heard a lot of good things about it for about maybe the last 60 years or more. Yeah, Seychelles is on the list, but I've been to the Waikiki Beach, yes, a number of times. But the one I like the best actually is the one in Clearwater. It's
Yeah.
right out of Tampa. That's actually that's a great public beach. It really is.
Well, I plan on going there actually at the end of the year. I'm going to go be with my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandchildren. And Katrina and I are going to go to Clearwater and hang out with them.
Yeah, we're going to be there in not too distant future ourselves.
Oh, that's so cool. And actually, we're getting ready to go to Greece and Turkey, and we're going to be doing our show from Virgin Voyages one more time, and maybe even a show from Turkey. So I'm really excited about that. Well, the name of our show is called The Wingman Show because we always highlight people who look after other people. Well, here's a great story. This young Arizona teen named Cody Chalmers. He was walking down the street and found a wallet, and this wallet had $300 cash in it. Now, the funny thing about this 14-year-old is at that time, he was saving up for an electric bike, a very expensive one, over $3,500. But you know what Cody did? Cody called his mom, gave her the information. I think he looked at the driver's license. She got online and she went and they found this person who lost the wallet. Well, believe it or not, when the mom was texting this person, the person's the woman's boyfriend was actually out there looking for the wallet. So they got together and they showed him where Cody was. He went and picked up the wallet. And they said thank you. And that was just a very nice thing to do. And Cody's mom was so inspired by it. She wrote on social media. She told the story. Dr. Paul, do you know somebody on social media said, well, since they didn't give you a tip, I'm going to buy you that $3,500 electric bike. And now Cody, from being honest and good and doing the right thing, now got his $3,500 bike. But I thought this was so cute, his little comment. And he said, I thought that someone would feel really bad if they lost it. So I was like, I better return this. Dr. Paul, tell me about Cody.
Well, that's a great thing. I mean, that's he embodies the adage, honesty is the best policy. He didn't do it to get a payoff, but he did get a great payoff by just doing a good turn for someone else, someone in need. Really, she needed her wallet. They need their stuff. They need their money. Need their credit cards. Look at all if yours is lost, look at all the hassle you can go through if that were to happen. And he just prevented it by being a decent person, honest person. So he's been handsomely rewarded. That's a good story. Good for him.
Yeah, and you know, in the facts of life, everything you do comes back to you, and especially when you do good things come back to you. And just a little side note on the wallet thing, I don't carry a wallet anymore. I carry my license, my health card, my American Express, my Visa, and my driver's license. That's all I carry because God forbid if I lose it, I can replace all of those things. I've lost my wallet enough times to come up with this system. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I agree. You don't need that much. And even when I was internationally overseas, I had like 2 or 3 things, and that was plenty. It terrified me. Nothing to risk. Anything that was lost would be easily replaceable.
How about this, Paul? I bet you remember this. Do you remember back when we were flying at FedEx a while back? Pilots would have big wallets in their back pocket, and because they sat all the time flying, they threw their backs out sometimes because of their big fat wallets. Wallets. Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, yeah, and it did happen. Sometimes they there's a running joke. There was one time I remember there was a guy I knew. It was a DC-10, and they were loading the airplane, and there was a problem. They got there was a load shift or something in the gate. The airplane just shifted on the back. It just popped up about, I guess, 15 feet in the air. The rear end was down, the back end was up, and somebody took a picture of it. It was a Federal Express airplane at the time, and they wrote, "The reason that happened was the captain threw his wallet out the window." 'Cause I remember that. The guy that happened to, he didn't think it was very funny, but,
I bet.
that was true.
Well, everybody out there, if you can hear my voice, anything that you think is important and anything that you think is beautiful, and especially anything that makes you happy, may you have that today and forever. I pray for peace.
I pray for peace too, Commander Drew. It's good seeing you again. We appreciate all those who listen, like, and share our message. Put this out to someone. We try to be positive. Everything we said today is pretty positive. And do well for yourself and help someone else when you get a chance.
Thank you once again, Dr. Paul Thompson, my friend. Thank you for your love, your time, and that's something that we won't ever get back. I want to thank all the listeners too. Thank you so much for doing the show, Dr. Paul. We're jamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drew, for inviting me on. Always good to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or any of the podcasts. If you're looking at YouTube, they say smash the like button. Don't smash it. Just press it gently and use as a link to all your friends. You can also look at us on our website, wingmenshow.com, WINGMEN show, SHOW.com, altogether, wingmenshow.com. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again, Mr. Drew.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're still floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you badass jet pilots, rumble. May there be peace on earth, and goodwill towards all men and women.